Hello, my name is James O'Brien. I'm the Operations Director of iIntro. What I want to talk to you about today is improving or reducing high candidate turnover. We're in a very volatile market at the moment, specifically with the job market being so buoyant because there are more opportunities than there is talent available out there. And so the key thing is to help employers understand that the key metric in hiring people isn't about how fast you can actually make the hire, but actually how long the employee stays with you. You see, candidate retention is one of the biggest mistakes or things that are overlooked by many recruiters and, more importantly, many employers. You see, quite often the objective is just to put a bum on a seat to actually get somebody in there. What you need to understand, and what you need to help employers understand as a recruiter, is what happens should it go wrong. One of the hidden costs of recruitment is not the fee, which we sometimes battle with and struggle with employers, but actually helping employers understand that should they lose somebody within the first 12 to 18 months, it can cost them up to 3 to 3.5 times the salary. Now think about that for a moment. If you're helping employers hire people at 100,000 or even 50,000, 3 times that salary is somewhere between 150 and 300,000. That's a huge sum of money. Now it's such a large sum of money that many employers actually don't think it's real. So what you have to do is break it down for them and help them understand where is that cost going. And there are just some key areas I just want you to think about in terms of when it goes wrong. So first of all, you hire somebody and they leave after 6 months, 8 months, whatever it may be. Well, you've got their salary for 6 to 8 months. Yeah, so that's that's 50% of their income. Now, it may not be totally wasted salary, but certainly it's salary that feels wasted because you never really would have got the peak performance out of a new employee in their first period. Because research shows that in those first early months, first 3 to 6 months, people are performing at somewhere into 25 to 50% performance levels because they're getting embedded within the team, finding their way around the business, and so on. All the usual things. And so that's another area that you need to look at, because their performance, when it's not at productivity levels that you'd expect from a fully performing employee, that's another impact on the costs for the business. Now, when you hire people, when new employees join organisations, they're onboarded. What does that mean? Well, onboarding is all about integrating that new employee into the organisation. That's training, that's making sure they're trained in the ways that organisation works, trained or retrained in certain areas of skill sets. What does that involve? Well, it involves management time, HR time, other employees and colleagues' time. So that can be a significant cost as well. And when you start to add all of these little components up, then all of a sudden employers can realise, actually, what can I do to get it right? So retention starts to become hugely important. Leadership IQ estimate that 46% of new hires fail within the first 18 months. In the UK, typically we see 20 to 30% of new hires fail within the first 12 months. Think about that for a moment. That's a 20 to 30% failure rate in the first 12 months for many businesses. That's a huge failure rate. There's no other part of their business where they'd accept a failure rate of 20 to 30% and not do anything about it. But employers don't know how to do anything about it. That's where you come into play. You can actually help employers understand that actually, if we can crack the issue of retention, if we can improve retention levels from 70 to 80% to closer to 100%, then that will have a huge impact on the business. Now, to do that, you have to look at both sides of the equation. What are the requirements of the employer? What are they looking in terms of hiring? And it's not just about the job description, which will typically identify the knowledge, skills and experience that is being recruited for. But what are the softer factors that determine success? What are the factors that make somebody enjoy the work that they've been hired to do? You see, when you identify those parts, that's when you get a joining together. It's like a perfect storm in a positive way. You get somebody who has the right knowledge, skills and experience, but actually can deploy those skills and experience in a way that they feel comfortable with. And that perfect storm means happiness. And happy employees, we all know, stay longer. So what can you do to help the employer identify what those are? Well, you need to put in place other elements of assessment and evaluation. It's not just about asking the same old questions from a CV, copy and paste it from a previous interview, that never really get to the heart of who the person is. You need to help the employer with key competency assessment, behavioural assessment. You need to offer other services. Now they become equally as important to the candidate, because what you can show to the candidate is, I'm not just interested in placing you in any old job to pick up a commission. I'm trying to evaluate who you are to make sure that you're the right candidate and you're going to enjoy working at this organisation. Not for 3 to 6 months, but hopefully for a good chunk of your career moving forward. Candidates will then start to listen to you. Now, what we do at iIntro, over the last 10 years, we've measured our performance, and 96% of the people that we place are still in the role 1 year later, and 93% 2 years later. Now, you might still say that's a 4% and 7% attrition rate. Indeed it is, but it's not 20 to 30%. And when you can start to show those type of benefits to your clients, they'll start to listen to you rather than just post the vacancy with any recruiter that just happens to be in the right place at the right time saying, I can find you candidates. Because any recruiter can find candidates, but finding candidates who stay for the medium to long term can differentiate you in a very crowded market. For more advice and support on how we may be able to help you transition and change your business to deliver that type of service, please do click on the link below, where we'll spend some time with myself or one of my colleagues, and we'll help you out making a difference to your business. We look forward to hearing from you.